Everybody, scream!
Hold up your cards. Who are these people? I had a client that was a judge on X Factor in Australia a few years ago. Even though they started it again now, saying, yeah, it's all new, we've never done it before. Yeah, they did, because I was there. It was about 6 years ago. And sitting in that audience with them going, but it's Australia, so they were like, this many of us in the audience. We don't watch telly in Australia, it's too nice. Is that quite a generalisation? They just don't watch telly in Australia, right? So don't be fooled what anybody tells you. Hello, I digress. I'm Donna Couling, I'm a celebrity PA. I'm not a celebrity, I'm a PA that works for celebrities. I work for 4 actors, Helena Bonham Carter, Rachel Weisz, Sir Derek Jacobi, Samuel West, and a fashion designer, Bella Freud. I'm a mother, I have a daughter who's 5, I have a husband. I present on the shopping channel. You might not think it, but this face is the face of acrylic knitwear. Oh yeah. You see me, you think warmth, you think machine washable. Oh yeah. In a variety of colours, all under £25 price point. Thank you very much. I'm now off because it's high summer. I'll be back at the end of August. I've also started running my own series of seminars because I'm very enthusiastic and passionate about my job, and I have met lots of people over the last 11 years since I started doing my job. Well, I guess maybe they started meeting me 10 years ago after I'd started the job to say, how can I do your job? How can I get into that? That sounds interesting. How did you do that? So I was meeting people for coffee and cheese sandwiches, taking about 3 hours of my time out of my day, which is quite limited, especially now I have a 5-year-old and a school run to deal with. And I just thought, why am I doing this? I've got a job. So maybe I'll do a seminar and invite people to come along, and then we can all do it together. And we can have coffee and cheese sandwiches together. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm writing a book as well. So I've tried to pack it in. I think it's the best job in the world, though. I love it. I thought I made it up. I didn't train as a PA. Maybe if I had, I would have thought differently, I don't know. I trained as an actor. I worked as an actor for about 6 years, plays and musicals, above pubs, below pubs, sitting in cafes, lots of complaining, a lot of bitterness. Why aren't I getting this job? Why aren't I seen for this job? Writing to lots of agents, casting directors, please will you meet me? Please will you meet me? Please will you cast me? Please will you come and see me in this thing? Eventually I decided that paying my rent with my credit card probably wasn't the best thing to do, so I should get a proper job that I get paid for. But what should I do? Because I'm actually not skilled in anything. Oh, biscuit, thank you, biscuit break. Very important part, thank you. When doing a presentation, I always ask for 3 biscuits. Thank you so much. No, I can't eat them because I'm talking. No! Do a good show, do a good show. However, whenever I've done a job, even when I was an actor, if I made a really good friend from that 6 weeks that we spent together, best 6 weeks of our lives, wasn't it the most amazing show in the world? Shame only 3 people came to see it. But you know, it meant so much to us and it was real. As long as I had made a friend from it, and the same when I started working, although I did work on the Estee Lauder counters, I omitted that part for about 8 years, but I'm not sure that I learned a lot from that. But I know, like, really quick raves around the department stores in the West End. So then I got a job at the Actors Centre in Covent Garden, acting related. I learnt how to use the computer. And then I left there and went to work for an actor's agent, where I stayed for about 4 years. We had lots of soap people, lots of musical people, and I learnt everything office-y there, really. Not PowerPoint, not clearly, as you'll see as we go on. But I learned about contracts. I learned about actors' needs and demands, what they needed, what they were invited to, dealing with charities, office managing, ordering stationery, making tea, teasing people with biscuits, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, okay, well, I've done this now. I need to go and work in movies. So I went to work for a movie company, but didn't research it properly, and it was an executive production company, which means that they're the people that raise the finance for the movies. So they're just accountants, really. So I had a nice desk, I just used to type for 13 weeks. Not the glamour that I thought I was going to be running around Pinewood doing stuff. So I organised my leaving party and I left there. And I moved on to a theatre production office for The Graduate in the West End. It had Kathleen Turner, and it was all really exciting and loads of people coming. But I was working in the office, I wasn't actually at the theatre, so I wasn't in touch with anyone. It was really frustrating. I think I was there for about 3 months before they bought me a computer. That's how much work I had to do. So I used to sit there with my book, get into the office at 9:30, sit there, wait for everyone else to turn up about 11. God, I know, it's completely soul destroying. And I love to learn. I thrive on learning, and I was learning shag all at this place. It was a complete waste of time, and a waste of me and my talents as well. So I thought, you know what, I love actors, I need to be back with my people. And so I put together, this is true, I don't know why you're laughing. This is a serious talk. I was taking notes afterwards. So I put together a thing. And, you know, I'm organised. I like organising. I organise. It doesn't cause me any trouble. I just do it. So, hi, dear agent. I'm a really good organiser, and I'd like to be freelance organiser, PA person for people coming from Hollywood, specifically, male, around 30, who need looking after, or people that are already in the UK that need looking after. Sent it off, 12 agents. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know it was a job. What were we talking about? But, you know, so what? If they say no, they say no. I've still got this crap job, so I'm all right. Still pay the rent. Until I emailed Disney, and they emailed my boss's email account, not my email account. So I kind of knew that I was leaving then. It was so rubbish. Fortunately, my phone rang, and Helena's assistant, who had been with her for 5 years, was looking to move on and travel. So I met her. A couple of glasses of wine, that went all right, and then she said, I think you'll be great, let's, you know, go meet Hel. Met Hel, she was great. She said, yeah, come work for me. So like, brilliant. So jacked in the job, started with Hel 2 afternoons a week. Full time, 2 afternoons a week. Oh. Okay, brilliant. Right, so I'm doing a job now that I really want to do. This is really interesting. Actually, don't know what it involves. She was like, what do you need? What can you do for me? I was like, what do you need me to do for you? I'm sure I can do that. Whatever, I'll learn as I go on, which I have, and I still do. But I had 2 afternoons a week. So it was the summertime. It was May time, 11 years ago. So it was nice. I could sit out. But then I was back to being back into my kind of actor mentality, still writing to the agents. Hi, don't even remember me, but I'm not after a job or a casting or whatever. You don't have to invite you to some basement in East London. I'm actually working for Hel 2 afternoons a week. So if you've got any of your people coming from Hollywood or from the UK that need looking after, I've still got loads of time. So they were really good. They gave out my number to loads of people. Some it worked with and some it didn't, which is important to learn. It's all a learning process. It's all a learning curve. But I quickly discovered how important our roles are. We really are the cogs that keep the machine going. You know, our clients, my clients, your clients, they're all really amazing at what they do. That's why they do it. And we do all the stuff back here that needs to be done. We're kind of behind the scenes. We're backstage people. We make it all happen. Are there any private PAs in here today? On my own, okay. All right, it's fine. Well, I'm just going to say it from, you know, my side of the fence. And hopefully some things might make sense. But that's what I found from the start, that, you know, we are important players within our clients' lives. They definitely need me because they haven't got a clue what's going on at home, and they don't need to because I do it all. That was actually a nice compliment I got when I was pregnant and I was looking to find someone to cover me, which was a nightmare. I mean, really, who would want to cover 5 clients for 4 months doing different things? You know, do you want to take off 5 months not knowing anything about what these people need, what they like or anything? So it was really hard. But one of my clients said, I don't really know what you do though, because it's already done. And I was thinking, well, how can I transfer that to somebody? Well, when you start, she doesn't know what I do anyway, because I do it. So if you can just keep that going for 16 weeks. And then I also realised how influential we are. Because our clients do say, you know, do you think I should do this? Yes, you should do it. We do influence them. Sometimes they say, oh, I don't think I can do this. I don't feel up to it. Or, you know, it really scares me. I don't really want to go and meet this person. Yes, you do. Go on. We are motivational. What would you do if you were me? Would you do it? Oh, let me think. Does it involve George Clooney? Does it involve Ryan Gosling? Does it involve both of them? Then yes, I would do it. We are inspirational. However, building a relationship with a client, as I'm sure you know as well, it doesn't happen overnight. There are a lot of steps to building that relationship. And I think, well, I've been working for several people over the last 11 years, at the same time, having different kind of relationships with them. And I think it's a similar way as how we cohabit with people. Some of the things that we do with that, some of the qualities we use, are the same qualities that I use with my clients. Ish. Somebody asked me at the weekend how many people I have actually worked for over the last 11 years, which I completely forgot about, and I added it up and it was 13. 4 I've been with sort of 9 years and up. 1 I started with last year, and the rest kind of came in and out. Either didn't work out or it didn't work out. But I think you have to look at the relationship and think, well, how do you complement each other? How do you satisfy each other's needs and demands? How do you set boundaries in a job that notoriously has little description? Because, you know, my job definitely doesn't have a description. I just think I'm here to make something ordinary into the extraordinary, which is what I do. I thrive on learning. I thrive on challenges. I love being given something that I'm sure they think of things, or try and think of things. Oh, this will get her. This will stump her. No, it won't! So I quickly learned that I needed to think 3 steps ahead. Because when I started, I didn't come from a PA background. I didn't actually know what the job was, what they needed. So I just jumped in, feet first. And I've kind of always had that mentality, really. If it doesn't work, I'll go and get a proper job again. I mean, it still might not work, and I'll go back and get a proper job if anybody would have me. But I think thinking 3 steps ahead, what can I do to make myself more indispensable to the people that I work for? Okay, I've got 2 ladies that do lots of photo shoots, lots of events, lots of red carpet premieres. They're going to need clothes, they're going to need shoes, going to need bags. Great, love those. So, hi, I'm PA to blah blah. Can I meet you for coffee? And maybe you could keep me on your mail list. Come and see your press days. Come and see your lookbook. So then I'm thinking, great, I know. So that when Helle's got a photo shoot or something, she'll be like, what am I going to wear? Oh, I know, you should go to Thingy because I saw their show and it was really amazing and it was so you. So then I'm invaluable because I have this information and I'm so much more useful, I think. I don't know what she thinks. If she was here, she might say something different, I don't know. Excuse me. So when I started, I didn't realise how many facets there would be to my job role. Some days I'm a stylist, some days I'm a personal shopper. I could be an IT expert, a researcher, a concierge, a travel agent, a property manager, estate agent, event planner, project manager, hiring and firing of staff. Then I deal with the admin. Then I make sure that everything's paid. I make sure everything's filed. I make sure the pets are still alive when they're on holiday. When they come back from holiday, I make sure the fridge is full. I'll make sure that there's fresh flowers on the table. I'll make sure all the light bulbs work, because that's really boring when you come in and switch lights. It's like, oh, great, I've come home to darkness. I make sure that the car's serviced, and when she jumps in it, it's not going to go conk out. My own life, personal life, is completely different, by the way. But for my clients, I am a professional, and I enjoy doing that. I kind of think of all the things that I wish somebody would do for me. So that's how I play my role. I'm not an actor anymore, but it's a real job now. But that's how I play it, and that's what I say to other people when they come in and do a similar job. You've got to, I always say that to the cleaners as well, but they don't bloody listen to me either. It drives me nuts. Walk around, and if there's stuff, can you just, and just a bit of dust. But it's, all the things, and then Hell thinks I'm completely anal. It's like, no, well, cleaner is part of the job title, whatever. So when I go to work, I work in my clients' homes. I also work from my phone, I work from my car, I work from my kitchen table, I work from wherever, but I mostly work from their homes. So when I'm with them, I have multiple clients, but while I'm with that client, you are my number 1 client. And if everyone else is calling me, when I'm dealing with your stuff, I'll deal with theirs as well, so they don't actually know that I'm doing that. And then when I'm with you, then you won't know that I'm actually doing your stuff as well. But it's okay, because it makes me terribly efficient, and everyone thinks I'm really amazing. It's all a facade. I know, exactly. Yeah, see, that's the way. I know, they had no idea. So when I arrive, I'll kind of go in and I'll survey the situation. They might be having an interview, might be getting ready for a photo shoot, might be having a breakdown. That's usually me. Might be having lunch with the mother. One of the kids is sick, or one of the kids is kicking off a tantrum or something. I go in, I survey the situation, and think, all right, you're in the middle of something, I'm just going to crack on, I'm just going to do this and do that, and whatever I do, and then when you're ready, you can come back to me. Because I think there's nothing worse than having that situation when, what you're like yourself. I know what I'm like with my daughter and my husband. Slightly short-tempered, perhaps. What? I'm in the middle of something and doing a presentation. Kind of gauge the situation before you plough in with both feet. I respect their needs. I try to think ahead. I try to keep things going smoothly. I feel that I'm a personal assistant because I assist their personal lives. That's what I do. The professional lives are dealt with. They've got their managers, they've got their agents, they've got all that kerfuffle going on. But I make sure everything happens back here, hence not knowing actually what I do because it's done, which is good. That's the idea, I think. However, I do need to be flexible, because over the years, our needs and demands have changed. I often joke that we do births, deaths and marriages together, and over 11 years we have, much as, you know, I do with my family and friends, and also with my clients, because I see them regularly. I see them so much more than I see my friends. It's like I've got loads of friends, I can't see them more. But you know, you do. You know, I was saying earlier, when Hel was pregnant, I was there, saw her being pregnant. I wouldn't see that with my friends. I'd see them, I don't know, 3 times during their pregnancy maybe. Likewise, when I was pregnant, you know, she was there for me. I did work it a little bit, but that was all right. You know, oh, you remember when you had that really bad and you had to lie down all afternoon? Yeah, I've got that. It's weird, it's catching. So every day is different. We have to learn to adapt to each other. And being flexible and adaptable is crucial, particularly when I work in a private home. Our timings change, you know, then we have school runs, I've got to deal with nannies, you know, all other things happen. And the same that happens in my life as well. I've got a school run, I need to dash, I can't hang about either. So I think because we're all of a similar age and in a similar place in our lives where children come into it, we can all relate to each other. Although there was a time when I was pregnant and it wasn't Hel, it was another client was pregnant and another client was pregnant. Oh, that was quite hard because we were all due around the same time. I was the one in the middle, and I was, you know, hopping around doing my thing. I do remember going to John Lewis and coming back with 3 frying pans. Not sure of the relevance, but you do those crazy things when you're pregnant, right? Don't you? Yes. So being flexible, crucial. Oh yes, building up trust. I'm always available. I'm always available on my phone. But I have to trust them not to abuse that availability. In the olden days, when I was younger and more keen, and just younger in general, I would get calls later on in the evening. But then, I don't think I disciplined them, but I think I just learned to say, you know what, it's kind of not cool, because I can't do that at 10 o'clock at night. I can't do that right now, but I'll do it first thing in the morning. And I think just as we've all changed in our relationships and with children and just got older and respect each other a little bit more, I think we both just respect each other that little bit more, which has made a huge amount of difference. Because I can't do this job otherwise. I keep putting this hand on these cookies. No one else can eat them now because my hands are over them. But I think part of that is being confident about raising any issues and saying that you're not happy with something and being able to say no, but be diplomatic. And it's all in the timing. There was an instance a few years ago when I did a pilot for a Channel 4 show. They were finding a PA for a pop star, and I was playing Mrs. X, the diva, that these 3 PAs had to look after for the day. Loved it, loved it, loved it. They gave me, the production company gave me all these hideous things, because it was a music background, so they'd been given all these hideous things that various artists had done to them. So I had to do it to all these 3 kids. I did feel mean, but it was great. There was one point they gave me, I mean, it was fab, and amazing hair, makeup and a frock and stuff, and I had this tiny little dog with a little cowboy hat on. You know, like people like that do. So I got out of the cab at the hotel, and the three people were there, and I knew that one of the girls was absolutely petrified of dogs. And they told me which one it was. So I kind of went over and said, you need to walk my dog. And I went into the hotel, and she was like quaking in her boots. She was absolutely terrified. But bless her heart, she went round, she did it. She wanted the job. She went round, she did it, she screamed. I mean, crikey, it took her 5 minutes to go around the block, but everyone in Soho could hear her. But she did it. And I think if you're up front when you go into work for someone and say, actually, I've got this dog phobia and there's no way, even if it's the size of a rat, I still ain't taking that outside. You can deal with that yourself. But be diplomatic and in the timing, and also don't talk yourself out of a job, because that would be the worst thing to do. This might be obvious, to be a little bit mental in this job. I think I've got the gist of that so far. But it really does help to have a thick skin. I think because I work in a private home, I get involved in a lot more personal issues, and also I am part of a team. You know, we've got nannies because there's kids. And it always seems to be the nannies that I have the same conversation with every time. I don't know if it's because they're younger. I don't know if it's because they come from different countries sometimes. Got Australia at the moment, which is quite far away from your family. I've been, I know, it's a long way. Oh, computer's at risk. Oh my God! I'll just close that, shall I? The alarm might go off. So I just think when you work in a household, can you just think about the people that you're with? You can see that they're busy, they're up to their eyeballs with something. It's not the time to go over and say, oh, the parking permit's running out. You know, can you just gauge it and either deal with it yourself or give it to me? And don't take it personally when someone says, not right now. I mean, seriously? Is this priority? Should I drop everything and do that right now? Keep your sense of humour, be professional, and you can plough through most things. And be confident and positive within yourself. I think that's part of it, and part of in-house politics and dynamics that I experienced as part of a team. I'm a team player, but I do think, I mean, everybody just comes to me, they drive me crazy sometimes, but I am the gatekeeper, and I see myself as a gatekeeper. That's my role. I don't give everything to my clients because they don't need to be bothered about all that stuff. You know, oh, Nanny needs a new parking permit for the car. You know, she doesn't need to know because she's doing her fabulous thing, and I'll deal with all that. So I think it's just, yeah, it's being confident and positive and just dealing with stuff that needs to be dealt with or not. What I find works for me is communication. We all have to talk to each other. I need to know what's going on. If you need to go somewhere, I need details. I need to know exactly what you need. I need contacts. Everybody that I meet, I need their contacts. I'm like a sponge. I can't get enough contacts because there's something that somebody is going to have done before, and I'm going to be thrown some weird request that they've made up because they think, oh, let's just try it. Can you get this? And I'll be like, oh man, where can I get that? I met that person at ExecSec Summit that got the gift wrap poodle. Who was it? And I'll look in my little back book and there they are. So we need that constantly. Everybody I meet, I kind of like suck the information from them because it makes me so much better at my job too. Common sense. Well, you've either got it or you haven't you really? And if you haven't, then I don't think you've had another job, frankly, because I haven't got patience. If I'm honest. Be courageous, be confident, go for it. Like I said at the start, I just thought if this job doesn't work, then I'll go and get another job. That's the way it goes, isn't it? But I at least had a go, and it's going all right at the moment, so I'll just carry on with it and see what happens. Commitment. It's been, okay, I've had a rough day. I was 45 minutes late, it's all right, but I'm still here, I'm committed, I'm staying. I'll stay 45 minutes later if I have to. And be creative. I think it's very important to be creative in my role, and I think in your roles too. You know, somebody wants something that you can't get for their kid for Christmas, or they want a table at the new blah blah or whatever. Sometimes you have to make up a story. I do get it when I phone up somewhere. I say, hello, can I get a table for Helen Bonham Carter? And they'll say, I'm sorry. I say, Helen Bonham Carter. Because I don't really like to throw the I'm sorry, who's it for? I say, oh God, this is a lost cause, isn't it? So then I'll have to kind of embellish a little bit and tell a little story. Maybe I've won them over on my side. So it's just me being creative and going back to where it all started in my other life. Oh yeah, sometimes I expect to have to give without getting something in return. We don't, you know, it's nice to have a little, hey, good job. But I don't get that very often. And I know, well, also when I do the shopping channel, I don't get feedback there either. Nobody says a word. I'm always a bit, did I just do all right then or whatever? And then somebody said, well, if they keep inviting you back, then you must be doing a good job, and that's the feedback. Like, oh, but I need a little bit more than that. When I started the job, people would say, oh, you must be really lonely. You don't work in an office, do you? You work for yourself. It's really lonely. Got nobody else there, have you? No support, or no team, or nothing. No, I'm not lonely at all. Because when I started my job, my made-up job, I was like, is there anybody else doing this made-up job? And then I found other people also doing this made-up job around the world. So we connected. I joined organisations and associations. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to meet other PAs doing other roles, not just, the celebrity sparkly ones, like the proper jobs, to find out what they do, how they get around doing this, how they deal with a situation, because I can't do anything without you. You can't do anything without me. We all need each other. And also, that makes our jobs so much better. Yeah, exactly what I said there. everything I learn from you, it helps me in my day-to-day life and makes me so much more effective, I think, in what I do. At the end of the day, it's nice to have somebody to have a kvetch with, because not everybody understands. They don't all have the same job as us. They don't have the same demands and stuff. My husband doesn't get it at all, even after all this time. I guess he thinks, well, if you're moaning that much, well, you just go and get another job. I'm like, well, yeah, you'll be saying that when you're not going to Dark Shadows premiere, and I am. It's not all about the perks. So I like to build my community, my network. That's why I started my seminars, because I enjoy meeting other people and I get other people asking me about it. So that's why I started doing them. And also to build up my network, my community, my support network. Because when I did one in November, and it was really great, and everybody left going, yeah, I feel really motivated, really enthused. And I was like, really? That's so nice. Because I didn't do it for that. I don't know, people ask me, so I tell them. And then about a month later, I'd be getting emails going, oh, it was really great, but now I'm back in my crap job and I don't feel very motivated at all. I was like, oh God, I need to do something about this. So now I'm starting like a little after club so they can join that as well. And then we could do little forums and Q&As and have events and meet up just to keep everybody motivated. And I just want everybody to be able to find a job that they love, like mine, that I just made up and I'm still doing it. And I really like it. And I'm here today and I get opportunities to speak to other people. And tell jokes and stuff, look at biscuits. So I've got 10 minutes before you have to go and do something else, like counting or whatever. I don't know what other. So take from me what you will. Yes?
Why don't they need you full-time when they lead such busy lives?
Why don't my clients need a full-time person? Good question. I don't know. Maybe they just took one look at me and thought, I don't want to be in my house more than twice a week. No, they don't actually need... Not everybody needs a full-time person. I guess if someone was involved with charities maybe, and they do a lot of that, or they've got their own production company. But when it's just literally their personal life, that's all they need. And I think that's how it's really worked for me, because I haven't gone looking for a full-time job. I started with a part-time job and built it from there, and realised that there's so many actors out there. They ask their agents, who, you know, do you know anyone? Because my cousin's busy and my sister's got pregnant, so she can't do it. Do you know anyone? And that's how it just worked for me with timing, because they only need somebody to come in one day a week, or if that. I mean, with Sam and Derek, I see them as and whenever they're back here from doing a play or something, and that's just to catch up on the admin. I mean, one person I sit with, I don't really do much, but he won't do anything unless he knows that I'm coming. So he's got that 3 hours blocked out, and he knows that he has to go through this pile of paperwork because I'm sitting there. And at first it was like, what am I doing? Is this a job? Because it was a bit like being a school teacher, I think. But now I'm like, I mean, I embrace it. I mean, I don't dress the part as a school teacher, but I, you know, right, come on. And especially when it comes around to doing fan mail.
Wait for you.
What do you mean I'm late? Get down. And especially when it comes to fan mail, because none of them like doing fan mail. It's like getting my daughter to do her homework. Come on, if you sign a few pictures, you can have a biscuit. Oh my God, it's really hard work. So yeah, that's already, they don't need anybody full time, because there isn't that much in their personal lives that needs a whole 40-hour person, in my experience. There are some that do. I don't know what they do. Maybe they'll invite them here next year and they can tell you. Next!
How does it affect your home life?
Very good.
Your own family?
Yes, very good question. How does it affect my home life? Well, I can be quite grumpy, definitely, because everything's so fast and furious. You know, everybody needs something, but they wanted it 10 minutes ago. They wanted it before they thought about it, so I should have thought about it 20 minutes ago. So that I can be a little bit distracted in that, not now, just put the telly on. Do your homework while I'm just trying to find this. So that can make me a little bit grumpy. But mostly, I think it's brilliant for me now that I've got my daughter, because it enables me to take her to school, run around really fast, doing loads of stuff for 6 hours, and then I can go and pick her up. And it's really important, my time with her. Having my family time is really, really important to me. I don't work to live, or whatever, all that Gubbinses, because it's really that part is really important. And then I'll put her to bed, and then I'll carry on going, oh, what? And Jay I'll just put the telly on. Would you? I'll only be 10 minutes. So that's I guess that it makes me a bit short-tempered, but I do have a bit of a short fuse anyway. But then it's gone when I've dealt with it. I think that's just part of my personality, and I'm quite impatient because I like things to be done really quickly. And I don't understand why other people don't get back to me like that. I sent the email. Hi, sent you an email 10 seconds ago. Did you get it? Or was it lost in cyberspace? I can be a bit like that.
They sent receipts and everything, so you know they've got it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I know you picked it up. Yeah. I'm sorry, are you busy? You didn't think this was priority? Yes. Was there? Yes.
Yeah. Can you recommend any agencies, or how do you go about getting an interesting job?
An interesting job. We're working with a celebrity. I would contact the actors' agents. If there are certain actors that you like the look of. Well, they've got a long list. Then I would go. Oh, I love David Tennant. Yeah, but can you imagine how much fan mail he gets? Because I do Derek, who did one episode of Doctor Who. Oh my God, the amount of freaks, the stuff that comes through. And I'm like, open the envelope. Some cards for you to sign. Can you imagine how much and God knows what people send him. There's an actors directory, a website called spotlight.com. So you could look up actors on there, and then you can see what agents they're with. And then you could write to their agent saying, I've attached my... Well, I email now. Don't have to write anymore, do you? That was in the olden days. Can't trust the post, can you? I would email, this is what I'm doing. Just to like a little chirpy if they're looking for anybody part-time. And also local people I find is quite useful too. People that I work for are all not far from where I live. I made them move because I felt it would make me much better efficient in my job. Well, also because I'm key holder and the alarms and all that kind of stuff. So if anything goes off, I need to be there quite quick. And also I can fit more work in because I can go from one and then 5 minutes later I'm at the other and then I'm at school. So local people, and I would contact, just write to agents. And I was saying to somebody earlier, just write every month. That's what I used to do. Because half the time they won't read it, and then there'll be that time when someone's phoned up saying, my sister's pregnant, can you find, have you got anybody? And they'll go, oh, that's weird, we just got this. Yeah, exactly, timing.
And what about other celebrities that aren't necessarily actors? Where would you look for,
Directors,
kind of
authors, same thing. I would look up agencies. I would just Google them and find out who their agents or their managers are, because they seem to be the people that they trust.
Yeah.
And they would recommend, just timing, just keep on. I'm still here, still looking. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I did. Any more?
Is it getting to the point now where you need a PA?
Is it getting to the point where I would need a PA? Good question. I've thought about that a few times, especially over the last 6 months, where I'm starting my own project and writing and doing stuff, and I just think. But the thing is, and then there was somebody that wrote to me about being an intern. I thought, that's abusive though, isn't it? What, just for the price of an Oyster card? She'd come and do all my stuff. Brilliant. But I can't, because I work in my clients' homes, it's not as though I could say, could you just run down to Hell's because I need you to pay the cleaner? And then, because it has to be me. No one else can go in and do all that stuff with them. They can only come and help me in my home, which would be rubbish stuff. And I'm a complete control freak, so I wouldn't let them do anything. But I don't know, it's something that I'd think of, but I'm not quite sure what I'd give them to do. Because I have to build up trust too with another person. And that's why I wanted to get into training as well, because there's so many people that I meet and I'm like, are you serious? Really? You haven't got a clue? Not that I want there to be like Donna's little army, we all do the same thing, we're all in a little uniform. Like slingback. But I just think there are certain things you need to do in a certain way, especially if you're working in somebody's home. So I don't know. I don't know, maybe eventually if I earn some more money. Don't know. I'll get your number. Thank you. Oh, you're not local, are you? That's rubbish. Oh, all right. Oyster card? Travel card? Are you? Are you really? Oh, that's hilarious. Knitwear. Cashmere soft. Any more? What have we got? 1 minute. No. Well, that's it. That was a bit spooky. See how good that is? I'm good.